Hey, how's it going? It's Keith Townsend from the CTOadvisor.com with another CTO dose. We're going to continue this conversation around portfolio management, project management, and how does it relate to technology specifically. So I've had this great conversation on Twitter with the folks at Nutanix and VMware around total cost of ownership, specifically around using HCI to talk about staff reduction. Now, in reality, you've watched the channel. You know I don't believe that HCI is going to actually reduce headcount. From a practical perspective, though, it does reduce the friction needed to meet digital transformation from a couple of ways. One, obviously, the speed to value is a measurement Nutanix likes to talk about, the ability to go from unboxing a piece of equipment, racking and stacking it, and getting value from it. Obviously, when you're talking about cloud speed, this story resonates with customers. It's why Nutanix got to $1 billion in sales so quickly. But then when you go beyond that, you start talking about headcount reduction, simplicity of infrastructure, etc. Those things are true, but the TCO around that gets a little fuzzy. We start to get into what we call blue money. We might reduce 20% of one person's time, 30% of another person's time, but that doesn't equate to a full FTE. Well, if you've paid any attention to this conversation around transformation, one of the first steps that Dale talks about is modernizing the data center. And Nutanix and VMware helps to modernize the data center in a way that is, we'll call it low-hanging fruit, that you can't do with automation. Automation projects take a lot of time and a lot of energy to implement and get value from. It might be a year plus before you see the true value of automation versus HCI. You get an instant boost when you move data from one storage platform to HCI platforms such as VSAN or Nutanix's Prism. You see an instant increase in productivity for your staff. What does that mean from a project and portfolio management perspective? Well, if you followed my advice and you resource loaded your projects for the year and you see, as most organizations will see, I don't have enough people to deliver on the projects. Even if they're funded, my people resources just aren't enough. HCI allows you to reduce the effort needed to administer legacy infrastructure so that you can repurpose these resources to do cloudy things. Now, is this real? Anecdotally, yes. I've seen customers, some of the first staff that they use to fund or staff up in cloud native projects are storage administrators. Storage administrators are not being fully utilized, not just because of HCI, but because storage has become easier to administer over the years. It's not just the Nutanixes and the VMwares of the world that's tackling this efficiency problem. All the other vendors, NetApp and the list goes on and on, are also making these strides and improving the efficiency of the team. So, hitting value of Nutanix VMware is the reduction of effort needed to deploy and administer storage and also compute, but more importantly, freeing up resources so that you can get more done with basically the same amount of staff. Is an argument that you may be able to fund a project like this out of your own budget from simply saying, yeah, you know, I need to deliver on a project, and funding from these projects can fund the HCI solution, which frees up my people to actually do the work. You doubt what I'm saying? Let's have the conversation. I'd love to hear your feedback. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm at CTO Advisor on Twitter. Or you can find me on the web, thectoadvisor.com, where you can find more great written content as well as videos. And of course, you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm an open networker, so to speak. Talk to you next CTO Dose.